Hey guys, what's up? Fan here again, and today I'm bringing you guys another video commentary slash guide, and this time I'm going to be playing the ranged assassin Falstad. Now Falstad just recently got a rework in this last patch, so his W is different than before, and also his second ultimate got reworked, and you know his talents got like messed around with a lot. So right now Falstad is kind of in a place where people are trying a lot of different builds with him and having, you know, various amounts of success with all of them. So I'm just going to show you guys what I think is still a very solid build. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys, you know, this was the best build pre-patch and it's still a great build post-patch. So I'm going to show you guys how it works and hopefully, you know, it works out pretty well. Now for level 1, you can either get Power Throw, Seasoned Marksman, or Bribe. Prior to the patch, you only got either Seasoned Marksman or Bribe, but Power Throw is actually something that's pretty good if you just want to poke around and whatnot. But for this game, I'm going to go with the more traditional pick, the pick that was, you know, the most popular one pre-patch as well, and I'm going to go with Bribe here. Now, I'm going to start talking about, you know, each of Falstad's skills here, starting with his Q. Now, Falstad's Q is obviously a boomerang. It goes straight into the, you know, it goes straight in a line and then it flies back to you. And the first thing that you want to do is when minions are walking to you in lane, they line up perfectly for your boomerang, so you can get a perfect, you know, front shot and back shot for both of them. So that's what you want to do. Falstad's W is changed, so now as you can see it basically ticks once per second for like 4 or 5 times, and if it gets all of the ticks off, it's actually very strong. It does more damage than the old one if it gets all of the ticks off. However, if it doesn't get all the ticks off, then you kind of waste it. So basically what this means is that the W is now really good against melee targets, because melee targets are forced to stay, you know, really close to the creep wave or really close to you if they're trying to attack you. And you know, that makes it really easy to keep them inside this circle, which you have to do in order to keep your lightning rod going. So yeah, Falstad has now changed to a hero that's extremely strong against melee heroes in lane. And against ranged heroes, you know, they can just walk out of your lightning rod circle, so it's not as great. Okay, so here I'm just gonna keep spamming my mana out. I want to push this wave into their turret so they have to defend instead of getting the temple. And I'm just gonna try and do this as fast as possible now. I'm gonna come up here and capture this temple, which is being left alone at the moment, at least. And trying to look at the state of the other temple as well while I'm doing this. Dodge that thing. Okay, so level 4 I'm going to get Gathering Power. Gathering Power basically means you're going to go for the, you know, magical damage Falstad, which was the most popular Falstad build prior to this patch. It's still very good, but without Rewind it's slightly weaker. But yeah, overall still very strong. It synergizes with your Q, W, and your ult, which I'm going to level Hinterland's Blast. Okay, so I'm going to continue staying on this shrine here. And now we're done. I'm going to flank this Stitches, get the hammer out, try and get both charges out, and yeah, he's pretty much dead at this point. Now one cool thing about Falstad is you know, his ability to use flight at any time. So in this particular game, I haven't really needed to use it that much. However, basically, flight is really overpowered in lane for Falstad. So if you're laning against someone strong like a Tassadar or, you know, a Vala or something, you can just trade inefficiently every 45 seconds and fly back to lane for free. And this is generally what I do whenever I have a lane that's pretty close. I'll just keep trading with them, and every 45 seconds, every time flight is off cooldown, I will recall back and fly back in, because it only takes about 5 seconds to do that, and it's basically infinite mana and HP regeneration in the laning phase, which is obviously very good. Alright, looks like we're gonna need to help this Rainer. Alright, so I got one kill there, but now I have to run away. Should be fine. So yeah, going back to the skill build here, level 7, you get Boomerang. Obviously, this also synergizes really well with your gathering power because it's more magical damage. And basically, you just activate your Q again to make it explode, so you can get 3 potential Q hits on one target if you do it right. This guy seems to just be running at me. I'm not really sure why. Well, it looks like he's going to manage to just barely trade me out of lane. But here's where, you know, the thing I'm talking about comes in handy. So now he's at low HP, I'm at low HP, but that was a good slam. He knew I was out. He might have just gotten lucky slamming the towers there, actually. But like I was saying, now as you can see, he's super low, and all I have to do is fly back to base, right? Whereas he has to recall and walk all the way back to lane. So now I have like a 5 to 10 second advantage on him if he goes back. He's choosing not to go back, which is pretty silly because now he's just dead, but whatever. Actually, that volley managed to kill me as well. So that ended up being pretty decent for them. Now I have 2 bribe stacks now, so I'm gonna try and bribe something just to create additional pressure on the map. You always want to keep an eye out if you go bribe on exactly when you have 2 stacks. Bribe only goes up to 50 maximum stacks, right? So if you don't bribe before you get to 50 stacks, you're just kind of wasting potential new bribe stacks. So make sure you keep an eye on this or this counter here, and every time it's at 40, go and you know, do your golems. Okay. Just gonna do my golems now. Level 10, obviously we get Hinterland's Blast because it deals a ridiculous amount of damage, and we're going for the magic damage build here, so of course we're gonna want the damage ability. Here I'm gonna try and back up my team, but we're all really low, so I might back out. And she just vaulted, so I'm just gonna try and snipe her there, manage to get it. I'm going to continue tossing out some damage here, just protect this temple. One thing that some people don't know about the temple is that only the yellow bullets matter. If you have control when the green bullets, when the yellow bullets run out, all of the green bullets are automatically going to go to your team, so you don't even need to stand on it after the yellow bullets run out. Okay. Fly back to mid once again with full HP, full mana, and just continue gathering bribe stacks, continue pushing the lanes. At this point, we're at a pretty decent advantage. We're a level and a half ahead, and you know, we're applying a lot of pressure everywhere. So this is pretty good for us. Okay, enemy Falstad is here. I'm gonna get my Hinterland's Blast on him. The most important thing in this matchup is obviously you need to get as many hammer hits as possible. I'm gonna fly over here, get the last hit on him, and back out. Alright. So obviously I talked a little bit about how Q works, talked about a little bit about how W works. Level 13, there's actually a bunch of different options. If they have like 2 tanks, sometimes I go Giant Killer. However, usually what I go is Thunderstrike. You can get Static Shield if you feel like you need a bit of extra HP as well. But the reason why I like Thunderstrikes more than Static Shield is because Thunderstrikes, you know, it stacks with your gathering power because it does spell damage. And Static Shield just gives you shield based on your maximum HP, which does not stack with gathering power as far as I know, because you know it's just 5% of your max HP every time. Okay, gonna continuously harass them. Tanked a few fort shots there, but it was worth it for the kill. And now we're just gonna push again. So the one thing that I would say about this Falstad is you should learn how to master the QRQ combo. And basically the QRQ combo is just you throw out your Q at a target and then you immediately channel your ult. And right after you finish channeling your ult, your Q, your hammering is going to be at the max range. It's going to have traveled to the max range, and you can basically press it again for the Boomerang to deal maximum damage. So I'll just try and show you here. So QRQ, I ended up missing the missing my Q there, but that's generally how you would do it. And if you do it right, you're going to get 3 hits of the Q. Right, the Q goes forward, hits it once. The Boomerang shot hits it once, and then the Q going backwards hits it once. And you're also going to actually getting really low here, so I have to back off. And you also hit them with the ult, so basically that's Falstad's primary like one-shot kill combo. When you get Overdrive at level 16, you Overdrive QRQ a stationary target. It can almost 100-0 like most melee assassins or squishy targets. So definitely get used to that combo. Try doing it. It's really strong. And now I'm just gonna go bribe these giants. Okay. So now the game has come to a bit of a standstill. At this point, we should be doing, obviously armor camps. That guy just flew there, so try and kill him here. But it looks like my team didn't really have any follow up there, so I'm just gonna back out again. I'm gonna throw out my Q on the side here. Try and kill this guy. Looks like we got another guy over there, which is good. And okay, so here this guy's dead. I really have to run. And looks like we're doing pretty good right now. And I also have my level 16, which is Overdrive. I might try and do the Overdrive QRQ combo here if I can get a chance to. So yeah, once again, I didn't really hit them because they just kite out there, but it's fine. That ended up hitting their towers, so better than nothing. But basically, I'm just trying to show you guys the combo. It's having a hard time because we have like no lockdown. If we had like an Uther who could just stun and I could follow up on it, it would be like extremely easy. But basically, yeah, generally you want to do it with a stun combo. So if your team has like a Kerrigan or Uther or whatnot, the second you see them stun, you just toss out your QRQ combo on whatever target is stunned, and you basically will almost certainly 100-0 them if your team is following up at all. Alright, anyways. Looks like we have another fight breaking out here. That was a really good Falstad out by their team. I'm gonna have to kite out a little bit here. Throw my hammer, do as much damage as possible, and back out a little. Alright, and now we need to get the shrine here. It should be pretty easy because they have so many people dead. We actually only need one person on that shrine because I know they're not going to contest it with that many people dead, so I'm just going to keep pushing out the lanes. So once again, I got 2 bribe stacks. I'm just going to go to their giants this time, steal it. One thing you can do on some maps is you can actually, at 4 minutes when you generally get your first 2 bribe stacks, you can actually like fly over to their giants if it's not too risky, and you can just steal it and then immediately teleport out of there or recall out of there using your Hearthstone. So I like to do that on some maps like Black Hearts and whatnot, but for this map this is a little too I don't know, the first time I did it, it was a little too risky for me. I didn't really want to risk it, so that's why I didn't do it. And yeah, this game has pretty much turned into just random pub game with people getting picked off left and right, so pretty easy for us at this point in my opinion. So follow pushing bottom, just recalling, okay. And everyone's just kind of posturing at this point. I kite out a little bit there. We used 2 ultimates there, so probably don't want to be fighting too early. I'm gonna go over to their knights, see if anyone's doing this. Doesn't look like it. And yeah, I mean at this point, we should just wait until our ultimates reset, so I'm gonna go over and do our giants while we wait. Oh, hopefully... Looks like our Rainer's getting caught there. I can't really help him since there's all five of them there, so I'm just gonna try and do this as fast as I can and get out. Okay, so there I'm gonna do the QRQ combo, and you can see I finally caught a couple people there. The Falstad instantly exploded, and the Vol was already that low from taking the combo. I'm just gonna come around and flank them, and hopefully you can pick up the rest of these kills. Use my W on him, keep auto attacking, and it looks like we should be good here. I try and get this guy. He's going that way. I'm just gonna throw the hammer out. Got the slow on him, and he's dead. And it looks like the Stitches also died there. So even though we fought 4v5 there, because they fought in a choke and I got a really good combo on like 2 members of their team, the 2 ranged assassins, they just pretty much got wrecked there. Okay, level 20 I'm gonna get Epic Mount. I just really like the skill for the huge mobility boost you can get, and it's just really good overall if you're playing like in like real games, competitive games. Like having the advantage is huge. So he's coming here. I'm just gonna instantly hammer at his location, and I have Overdrive on, so as long as he doesn't hit me with the ult, which I just dodged, he's not gonna win. So yeah. I'm trying to stay on this shrine as long as possible. Tassadar's here now, so I can probably just stay here for the entire duration with the help of his shield and healing ward. And yeah, I'm trying to think about if I missed anything here. I don't think I've missed too much. Talked about how you use the Q, talked about how you use the new W. I guess I'll talk a little bit about the E, the barrel roll. So the cool thing about the barrel roll is so like, looking at this, right, the yellow arrow does not completely reach across this. However, if I do it, it'll still work. So that's one thing that most people don't know about the barrel roll. The range indicator, like even if you're like stuck in terrain that is not achievable or not reachable, as long as you're like somewhat through it, it'll just push you over to the other edge. So as you can see, once again, even though this is like nowhere near, right, it'll still let me go to the other side, and that's just because of how barrel roll works. How you can go over, you know, terrain that's like normally you could never reach that terrain, right? But barrel roll lets you go through stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, team is still fighting. Enough Epic Mount over here, and yeah, so this game is basically over, so I'll just show you guys one more time. So like basically anytime you see uncrossable terrain, like it's barrel, all you have to do is barrel roll through it, even if you don't think you can reach the other side. Like it just pushes you over because you're on unmovable terrain. So that's one really cool thing about Falstad, and that's why his dash is like better than most heroes' dashes. You know, not only can you dash through unmovable terrain, you can dash through like, you know, the enemy gates or stuff like that. Whereas if you were a Vala and you tried to tumble out of like the enemy gates, like that would not work. So that's one really cool thing about barrel roll. And obviously if you're like somewhere like this, obviously Vala can't tumble from this part to that part, right? So, and this works for pretty much every map and pretty much every unmovable location. So very cool stuff. At this point we're just waiting for the shrines. The shrines are pretty much going to seal our win. Since I have Epic Mount, I'm just going to fly over here, bribe the giants, and my flight's going to be pretty much, you know, ready to go by the time these shrines activate anyway, so no big deal. And yep. So let's see. Level 20, I already talked about that. Overdrive, I didn't really talk about this, but obviously it's since our entire build was going spell damage, Overdrive is a must. It increases your ability power by 25%. So it does basically 25% more damage for all your spells, which is really good. It also only has a 25-second cooldown, so basically every time you think you can get a kill, just use Overdrive before. Just get in the habit of pressing Overdrive before using any of your abilities, right? Even if you just Overdrive and throw out a hammer, that's worth it, because Overdrive has such a low cooldown. Any chance you think you can get a kill, or even like substantial amounts of poke, just use Overdrive. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my Falstad guide for today. This is going to be the magic damage Falstad guide. I might make some other Falstad guides because I suspect that auto attack Falstad is going to become more viable in this patch, especially if you're taking his other ultimate, the Gust. But yeah, I'll make that video another day. For today, this is the magic damage Falstad guide. Hope you guys learned a little bit about the skill build and all the skills. And if you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a lot of other cool videos out there. But for now, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.